All right. October 9th. So let's do a little recognition here. And then we're going to hop into a little recap of the leadership retreat, which is every fall. They got the leadership retreat for 5-star diamonds and above. And then they also have the new leadership conference, which is in the winter, usually February, for 1-star diamonds and above. So if you start qualifying for 1-star by Thanksgiving, this coming Thanksgiving, and you hold it for 6 weeks, then you'll be able to go to the new leadership conference in February. But this past weekend was the one for the 5-star diamonds and above. So we're going to kind of recap some of the top takeaways and some of the big announcements from that. But first, a little recognition here. I'm going to start with the leadership ladder. So the leadership ladder, I think, is a lot better than just looking at your rank. It includes rank, but it includes so much more than just your rank. It includes your team volume, for one. It includes how many of your personally sponsored coaches are engaging in Success Club activity. It includes your commission, all that kind of stuff, the week-leg team volume. So team builder is kind of like one of the rungs that everyone kind of shoots for initially. And so to hit a team builder, I'm going to read off the names, but first I'm going to tell you what it takes to be a team builder here. So you have to hit Success Club during the month. You have to earn at least $250 during the month. So that'd be, if you just sold 5 challenge packs, there you go, that's $250. But that $250 can come from team bonus too, which is based on the efforts of, how successful your team is. You have to be an Emerald. You have to have 2 of your personally sponsored coaches that have at least 1 Success Club point. So you don't have to have 2 coaches that hit Success Club. They just have to have at least one point. So they sell 1 challenge pack, two PS coaches. And then you have 200 team volume points on both legs. So 200 team volume points on both legs is kind of one of the things too for the whole month. You don't need 200 for the week, just for the whole month. So that's team builder. So these are the coaches that hit team builder last month. We got Susie Bell, Anne-Marie Kellen, Martha Stewart. Well, she's famous, right? Martha Stewart, I actually heard was on the Martha Stewart's show, which is pretty cool. Lauren Letary, Kelsey Moore, Cassie Schmelzinger, Samantha Staino, Olivia Taylor, Bailey Glanzer, Mackenzie Provenzano, Trish Weiss, Anastasia Redding, Lindsay Redding, and Kelly Marks. So that's something for you guys that you didn't hear your name. That's something to kind of shoot for next month, for this month, October. The Success Club, earning the $250, the Emerald, helping 2 of your coaches sell at least 1 challenge pack, and then getting the 200 team volume on both legs. So now we got team leader, which is kind of the next rung up on the leadership ladder. So hit Success Club, but this time for the team leader rung, you have to earn $1,000 during the month. You have to be a diamond coach by the last Wednesday of the month. You have to have 4 personally sponsored coaches that have at least 1 Success Club point. And you need 5,000 team volume points on your week leg. So the team leaders were Brooke Reed, Amy Reelman, Michaela Vardulkis, Sydney Thompson, Ashley Feldyson, Carrie Steelman-Schmidt, Marie Sardelli, Celine Bacardi, and Danielle Ream. And then organization leader is the next rung up. And to hit that, you need to hit Success Club. You need to earn $2,500 during the month. You have to be a 2-star diamond or above, 6 personally sponsored coaches with 1 Success Club point, and 15,000 week leg team volume. And 2 of your PS coaches have to be team leaders. So the organization leaders last month were Kate Morgan and myself. So that is the leadership ladder for September. And then now I'm just going to look at the Success Club. So for October. So these are the coaches that have already hit Success Club this month. We got at 6, helping 3 people already this month. Sydney Thompson, Susie Bell, Sarah McReynolds, Megan Smith, Carrie Steelman-Schmidt, Bailey Glanzer, and Autumn Pearson. And then at Success Club 10, helping 5 people, we got Kate Morgan. Helping 6 people, we got Martha Stewart. And helping 7 people this month, we have Cassie Schmelzinger. And then the top 20 personal volume. So these are the coaches that created the most personal volume from their customers' orders. So they created they had the most customer orders. Top 20 on Team Boom. We got Stephanie Estridge, Carrie Steelman-Schmidt, Anastasia Redding, Ellen DeDinion, Beth McDonald, Kylie Winne, Randy Kruger, Kim Roberts, Aaron Campman, Rachel Batchelder, Amy Reelman, Cristiano Tropiano, Susie Bell, Chris Bachlet, Kate Morgan, Sydney Thompson, Kelly Marks, Megan Gutenberg, Martha Stewart, and at the top we got Ashley Feld-Dyson with 1,700 personal volume points. Killing it. All right. So that is recognition for the call today. And then now we're going to kind of hop in and kind of share some of our top takeaways and some of the big announcements. I know Ashley has to run, so I was going to see if Ashley wanted to share first some of her stuff. I don't know if Ashley's on here.
I'm on.
Oh, perfect.
Michelle said she had a little bit of a headache. So, Michelle, why don't you pop in first and I'll go after you.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not my normal bubbly self right now because I've had like a killer headache for 3 hours. So
Are you sure it's not a headache because of Friday night with you and April going off?
It might still be. It might still be a hangover. That's what happens when you're in your early mid-30s. You get hangovers for days. All right. So what I really wanted to share was I really, really liked Amy Rada's Instagram training. I thought that was amazing. So I actually took pictures of the slides, and I kind of just wanted to talk about the stuff that I took from it. Kim, how's that liver? So anyways, her name is Amy Rada, and her Instagram is Happy, Healthy, Humble. And she grew her account from like 400 followers when she started coaching, or maybe even less, to like 67,000. Like she has like 67K followers, and she pretty much did it organically. So her biggest thing is she said when she started, she had no clue what Instagram was. She just used it as an opportunity to use, like she used Instagram as her accountability partner. So basically, like she posted her vitals every single day. She talked about personal development. She shared her workout, and she was just like, she just said she focused so much on like what brought her joy instead of following all the rules. Like, oh, only post 2 to 3 times a day, or only post 1 selfie. Don't, you know what I mean? Like all these rules that people make up. She said she tried doing that and it just made it so complicated, and it made her almost like despise posting on Instagram. So she just went back to what brought her joy. And she posts like 6 to 7 times a day on her feed. She has like 30 stories a day. She's literally always sharing. And I just thought that was so cool because recently, like I tried to do like all one filter for my photos to try to be like these Instagram all-stars. And I hated it because like I'd want to post a photo and then I'd put it in that filter and I'm like, oh, that picture doesn't look good in that filter. So like now I got to find a different picture. And it just made me like hate posting on my Instagram. So I feel like I really related to her sharing that. Like just post whatever you want. Like don't worry about like, if you post 2 selfies in a row, or don't worry about if you already shared about Shakeology today. Like just go with what you're feeling, and who cares about the rules? Like throw the rules out. Like who makes up these rules anyways? You want to be you want to be genuine. You want people to relate to your story. So I just wanted to look at her slides quick, and let's see. She said she posted her vital behaviors every day. She implemented the miracle morning. She woke up at 3:45 every day before work, which is like insane, but good for her. She would like always post her workout. She posts so much stories. And her biggest thing she said was like, she didn't just post her results when she was done with a program. She used Instagram every single day to document her every single day journey so that everybody was on it with her and they felt like they could relate to her on this journey, and they felt like, they were a part of it with her. And I think that's how she grew to like develop so much trust with her social media platform and get so many people to want to join her because they felt like they were on this journey together with her since day one. Her Instagram handle is Happy, Healthy, Humble. She's like the cutest little thing. Let's see. And so her thing is like, let's see. Her biggest thing is like she posts 6 to 7 times a day, like still since the day she started to now. And her mentality was the more people that see her stuff, the more they're going to remember who she is, which makes sense, you know, and especially with social media algorithms changing all the time. You know, last week you might post a photo and it gets 100 likes, and this week you might post and it gets 20 likes because the algorithm is always changing. So if you're constantly posting, you're going to be constantly showing up on people's feed, which I think is, you know, super cool. And you know, if you don't want to post that much, you don't have to. Like, I don't want to post 7 times a day, but I don't think you should be following these rules of like, oh, only post 1 to 3 times a day on Instagram and 2 to 3 on Facebook. You know, just go with what feels best for you and sharing your journey. Let's see what else she said. You know, she said she posts every piece of her, not just fitness and health. You know, she recently actually went through a divorce and she posted about that, and she was really open with it. And she moved to Colorado and she just found a new guy and got engaged. Like, I know her whole life story. So that's like how she gets people to fall in love with her, because she literally shares every part of her life, not just health and fitness, because you're more than that. And I don't know if, who's on, let me look who's on this call. Is Michaela on this call? Where are you? I follow your stories. You're like the cutest freaking person in the entire world. And I feel like you do such a good job of sharing like your teaching stuff and your fitness stuff. And I just love it. So shout out to you, because I think you do an awesome job. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is she's so cute. She said she, like in the beginning, she followed Shalene's 5-3-1 method. And I actually was just talking to a coach about this tonight. If you don't know what that means, that basically means you find somebody who you relate to, you search hashtags or search accounts that you like to follow. Like, I'm a huge Bachelor Nation freak, so I follow people that follow the Bachelor Nation celebrities, because those are my people. So you would like go to their page, you would do 5 likes on their photos, 3 genuine comments, like, oh my God, your dog is so cute. Like something that you relate to with them, that you really, really like genuinely feel. And then 1 follow. So if you do that to somebody's account and they see, wow, you know, Michelle just came to my profile, she liked 5 of my photos, commented on 3, and then she followed me. I'm going to go check out who this chick is. And that's how you can grow your Instagram following. And then a great thing to do after that is just message them, thank them for the follow, you know, and start a combo with them. Let's see. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. Oh, another thing is if you're not using Instagram polls and questions, like that's where it's at. Another coach I'm friends with that isn't on our team but was there with us, she said she posts a poll every single day. Like she posts a couple stories, maybe like post a video of her workout. Then she'll post something saying like accountability, meal plans, me as your coach, checking in with you, yada, yada. And then on the next one, she'll say, who's interested? And she does that every single day, so that every single day she has people to invite from based on that poll. So I just think that's like, I do that like once a week. But if you do that every day, you're going to have like, I'd say at least 5 people to invite every single day, but probably more. And I think that's really all I wanted to share. Oh, giveaways. Giveaways was another thing that Amy said she does a lot. So she would contact other brands and partner with them and be like, hey, do you want to partner with me? And I'll tag you, and then people will follow you and they'll follow me. So I thought that was a really cool thing. And if you go to her Instagram, she actually just posted one today that she's doing, so you can kind of see how she does that. And that gains followers because everybody who enters the giveaway has to tag 3 friends, and they have to be following you in order to enter the giveaway. So I thought that was a really awesome way to grow your account too. And that's really all I had. I feel like, I mean, there was other takeaways, but I know that so many other people are going to be talking about them, but that's really the one that I wanted to focus on, because I feel like Instagram is so huge right now. Like, it's always been kind of big, especially in the fitness world, but now it's like dominating. So I feel like if you're not using Instagram to move your business forward, then you got to get on it. Like, you got to do it tonight. Start now. All right. And then I
Love it. All right, Ash, you can go.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I loved everything about leadership. I went into leadership already like hearing from other people, from Michelle, Pat, and Annie, saying like it definitely is one of the best events to get to. And I was pushing for it last year and missed it. And I would literally stalk Pat, Amy, Annie, Michelle, whoever went last year, and just like wishing and praying that I was there. So I had like set super high expectations going in, and it met every single expectation. I loved it. What I think my favorite part about leadership is that it's so relaxed. You know, at Summit, there are just so many people at all these different levels. I think the coolest part about leadership is that we are all like at the same leadership level. We've all gotten to the point of our business where we understand a lot of things. We don't obsess over the celebrity trainers. We don't obsess over certain parts about like top coaches and stuff like that. So it was just super relaxing. And I feel like because of it being so relaxing, we did get to take more away. People weren't like rushing around all weekend. It was just very chill. And then it was just like, I think one of my favorite parts about leadership was the differentiation. So like, for instance, you have somebody like Amy Rada, who Michelle just explained to a T, right? You have somebody like Amy Rada, and then you have somebody like Ashley Molstad. You have somebody like Emily Faber. And so getting the leadership, I feel like, you know, I've been in this business for 3.5 years. I feel like as a new coach, or even in the business for a couple years, I consistently like thought all top coaches were the same. And I'm sure a lot of you new coaches kind of feel that same way, like all top coaches kind of beat to the same drum, but they're so different. And even myself, you know, being at the top of the network now, I am so different than all of the other coaches in the network. And I think that's the beauty of leadership, is that we get to see how different everybody runs their business, and that, you know, we have the ability to go to leadership, take all of these tools home with us and implement these tools, but also understand that it doesn't take one type of person to be successful. So if you're sitting there saying like, I don't look like her, or my story is not similar to theirs, it's okay, because I promise you, when you get it to leadership and your goal should be to get there next year, you're going to look around and say, I don't need to look like anybody else. Like my coaching abilities, my coaching styles, you know, that's my superpower. And so that was one of my favorite parts. Also, just being reminded that our company freaking loves us. Our company values us, guys. Like, I've never, first of all, I was a teacher, so I just was always very like put down and undervalued. But being at an event like this, where we spend very little money, we go to this beautiful hotel that we get, you know, all paid for. We walk around, we get lunches, we get dinners, we just get to do these incredible things that our company values us for. They invite the top leaders of the company, and they just spoil us. And so for me, I'm super motivated by that. And from the very beginning, when I was a brand new coach, I was so motivated by Success Club trips. So if you are somebody who's motivated by incentives, get your butt to leadership, because you're going to be spoiled for a full weekend. For those of you who haven't looked her up, I know I mentioned her on the National Wake Up Call yesterday, but Kendra Hill, she is a professional storyteller. She was incredible. I think that obviously our story is our superpower. And Kendra Hill, she has an entire training on YouTube actually. And I have her email, so I signed up for like ongoing trainings. And she sent us, so Pat, maybe this is something you and I can do together, but she sent us the entire training that she gave us at leadership, so we could like maybe even take them through that, which is really fun. What?
There's a coach that recorded her presentation. It's on YouTube.
Oh, cool. Oh, perfect.
So I have like the links to all the recordings. I post them in my team page. I can, well, not all of them, but most of them. I can post them to Bootcamp too.
Yeah, definitely post those. So she just talks about, I'm thinking about Chris Downing. I was actually thinking about this during my workout, or like Sean T. What's something that we instantly remember about them, or at least myself? Like, I know both of their stories. The first thing that I think about them is a piece of their story. Like, that is what I remember them for. Same thing about Pat. Like, instantly when I think about Pat, I know a piece of his story, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And so for all of, you guys who are posting on your social media every day, which obviously if you're an active coach, you should be posting on your social media every single day. Your story is the thing that your followers or your tribe, your target market's going to remember you for. It's going to be your story that opens up and allows people in to see the real you. And I think that Kendra Hill kind of hit it home with that. So if you, I don't know, does she have an Instagram? Has anybody followed her on Instagram? So she has an Instagram, even going and following her, because she's hilarious, one, and she's definitely somebody that we can definitely be influenced by in this in this business. It's kind of funny though. So for those of you who don't know, they actually had a different speaker on Wednesday who was supposed to be like the theme speaker all weekend long. And I guess he wasn't very good. So our company literally called Kendra Hill last minute and hired her, and it was just like a hit. So it was really cool. Also another takeaway, and this is something that Annie and I kind of talked about a little bit today, but I've always been like very geared toward messaging on Facebook, messaging on Instagram, or emailing back and forth. And I think a lot gets, like when I sign a coach, for instance, when I sign a coach, I think a lot can get lost after the coach sign up if you're just going through email or if you're just going through Facebook Messenger. And so I took it and I signed 2 coaches today, and I took it to one step further and I started messaging them. And already I've been able to just be more alert with them. I've been able to just, and I know Pat's been doing this for a long time, and sorry, Pat, it took me a long time to get here, but texting back and forth with your new coaches. If you aren't doing that, try it out. Maybe it's not for you. I know some coaches are weird about sending out their info, about your info, but it's worked for me today and I really like it. And so basically what I'm doing, and this is what, I can't remember who talked about it. I think Ashley Molstead might have talked about it on stage. So what I did today was I sent the new coach welcome email, and I basically had them respond to me through a text. So they were that way. So they just responded with me like about their goals and their why and through there. And then every day that they go through the coach training, they're going to send me their notes through my text message. And so that's just an easier way for me to be more alert with them, because I'm always on my phone and I'm not always on my computer. So I definitely took that away. That's something that I'm going to implement for sure. And then simplifying everything. As a new coach, like leading up to now, I've always thought that I need to like reinvent this wheel, like redo everything, go home and just make the best coach training, make the best coach welcome email, make the best, layouts and graphics and stuff like that. And it was just so cool to see top coaches up on the stage say, keep it simple. Want to know how to be successful? Keep it simple. Let things just flow, make it duplicatable. The harder you are, the harder it is to create something on your own. It's going to be harder to recreate it or duplicate it in your downline. And so this specifically, Emily Favre, she just keeps things so simple. And there's a reason why she has 20 plus diamond PS coaches. It's because it's so simple that it's so easy to recreate. And so for those of you new coaches who are like, I feel like so lost in this business, guys, keep it simple. Pour into your journey. Share it on social media. Like Michelle said, just use Instagram as your accountability. Wake up and do it over and over again, and just keep falling in love with your journey every single day and bringing new people in who want to do that same thing. But yeah, those are my top takeaways.
Love it. Thanks, Ash, for taking the time. And Ashley, you guys, I don't know if you guys got to see it. I think Annie recorded it in the Boom Fam live, but Ashley got to share her story in front of 400 of Beachbody's top coaches. And I had so many coaches, so many leaders come up to me and say like, man, that she's the real deal because she shares from the heart. And she was on the national wake up call on Monday. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, make sure you guys catch the recording of that, because she went into more depth on how to share your story and kind of a little bit of a 5-step process for that. So thank you, Ash.
Welcome.
All right, who's next? Annie?
Yeah. All right. So this was I think it was my 5th leadership. And it was definitely one of my favorite ones because we had more of our team there, which I think was awesome to like see them have the experience of going for their first time. Because I remember going and being, so nervous and not know what to expect. And it's like, it's so crazy. The community of Beachbody doesn't matter like what, if you're a coach or you've been in the business for X amount of years or 5 amount of years, everybody wants you to be successful. Like every single person is like, you're like, oh, I'm struggling with this. And they're like, oh my gosh, take this document. And like, this is how I do this. Or like, everyone is just so open and willing to help each other. And I feel like that's like one of the best things about this community is that everyone wants each other to be better. So I took I'm going to talk about was something that Carl Deichler said, and then I'm going to talk about the 4th quarter, which I've been, this is my 6th year doing this, and I feel like my 4th quarter is always like something that I think a lot of people, if you tell yourself it's hard, it's going to be hard because there's going to be a lot of objections. But I've had 2 babies in August, and coming out of the fourth quarter, it's like always been my biggest comeback. And just, I had a surgery in the fourth quarter last year, and I feel like it's a really good time for you to set yourself up for success going into like the really busy season. So the first thing is Carl Deichler. He talked in the very beginning, and I just like to hear these stats as a company because they made us sit at this table, and my mom would laugh because they made me sit at this table, and I was like, oh my God, I've been a coach for 10 years. So I had to sit at a table with these coaches that were like literally, I think some of them were in their 60s and 70s, and they're like, who are you? You know, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I can't believe I've been here this long. But it just goes to show like this company is something that's not going away. Like it's just always going to be here. So like get it out of your head that like you're going to give yourself a year to succeed in this business, like, or 2 years, like you're in it for life. Like don't ever get out of this business because it's just crazy how much it's grown in just that amount of time. So he said right now there's 368,000 coaches. Out of those coaches, there's 206,000 active coaches, which if you think about it, and people say everybody's a coach, like that's literally like less than 1.0% of like the entire world. Only 22,000 of those coaches are enrolling more than one coach. And he kind of gave a stat, like if you're a coach, it's, you know, like 25%. If you're a 5-star, it's like you're enrolling like 80%. So Carl Deichler is like the CEO of our business, and he is so innovative and like wants this business to be so crazy that he's like, he wants us to be the greatest opportunity for a part-time income ever. Like that is his slogan. He wants us to be the greatest opportunity for a part-time income ever. And so he's really wants this business to like the company just to thrive. So 2016, 2017, it's no, like, obviously it was kind of a stagnant year. They're trying to figure out on demand, but just this year in 2018, they're over $1 million over their projected where they're going to be. $1 million over their projected, and they're not even at the end of the year. So that he broke it down to that's $45 million more coach income. So the company is like really trying to listen to their coaches. They have coach boards, like they're listening to these coaches about like what's working, what's not. You know, another thing is they have so many things coming out, like the fruit punch, Energize. They have a new vegan product coming out. Like they know that we want more consumables, so they listen to what we're having to say. Okay, so I just thought that was really interesting because I like to see what his brainstorming is. And now I wanted to talk about kind of like making a marketing plan for the next 3 months. And I forgot who said this and who even shared this, but your fourth quarter is like the quarter to come back. Like it is the quarter where you're planting all of your seeds and placing everything into, you know, I just had a girl saying like, I'm going to like go into the Christmas and like I'm in the retail business. So like January might be a good time for me. So you're planting seeds this fourth quarter because pretty soon it's going to like flip a switch and the entire world is like, I need to lose weight. And the first person they're going to think about is you because you showed up during the difficult time when you were at Thanksgiving or, you know, Christmas or anything like that. So showing up right now is like so important and being consistent. So obviously they gave, I think I posted this in the Boom Fam, but somebody gave this like marketing plan. And honestly, like you don't need to get too overwhelmed, like Michelle said, or Ashley said, you kind of just do what works for you. But it is important to know that there are some pretty huge launches that are coming out. So specifically the one that was Shaun T is coming out. And there's a bunch of people that are in the test group, so they're sharing about it. But they suggested doing a sneak peek right now. So like creating a private sneak peek that's going to give everybody the information. It's going to hype up their excitement. And I've done these in the past with my teams and just told my team, like, here's our sneak peek, invite your coaches, invite your customers. Like, let's get excited about Shaun T. So some of the things she suggested are stop the super trainers. So share stories about Shaun T. Like Ashley said, like Shaun T has changed so many people's lives. And the last time he came out with a program was Asylum. So that was like so long ago. And I know this is Transformation 20. So I have so many girls that still do 25 minutes because they're like, I'm a busy mom. I can only do this during nap time. And so this is like 20 minutes and it's going to like crush it. And I'm not even doing this program, but just from following like Ashley Feldison who's doing it and a bunch of Pats doing it, I'm like so excited for 20 minutes. And I know a ton of my clientele is going to be too. So create a sneak peek to get people excited about the launch. Think of 3 months out from now when everyone's mindset is, you know, the new year. They will think of you because you're showing up, plant the seeds in your current coach groups, in your current sneak peeks, invite people, share about this new program. And then in the specific sneak peek, and honestly guys, like don't even overthink it. Like I know I'm the type of person my mom and dad always say, like, I just like do things without even thinking. Like I'm just like, screw this, I'm going to do it. And I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Like, honestly, like I'll just create a sneak peek and be like, we're all going to join. And like, they're like, let's think this through. And I'm like, no, we're going to just do it after. And that's like how I built my entire business. Like literally, like, I'm like, I'm going to do a sneak peek. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to say in there, but they suggested doing like, you know, some prizes. They suggested doing like T25 workouts. There's so much stuff on YouTube, like little clips, you know, sharing test group stories, like asking maybe like Pat or somebody to hop in your sneak peek and share about what they're doing for the program. So, and then you, most importantly, you are doing a program. So maybe you don't have Shaun T's program, but like maybe you're doing Autumn's program and you're like, I'm trying to get in shape for Shaun T because I know he's going to kick my ass. And like, I have to be ready for this program that's coming out. So make sure that like you're doing a program because that's really, obviously it's like leading from what you're going to be doing. Somebody's not going to join you unless you're doing it. I took some notes on the Happy Healthy Hunt, but Michelle did that because I really liked her suggestion. And then lastly, I know sometimes we all struggle with leadership, and this was a leadership event. So they talked a lot about that. And so I don't want to go too into it, but I thought this was a really good leadership blueprint. And number one, it's model. Like you need to be in the trenches. I've been doing this for like 6 years and I'm still like, what workout program am I going to do? How am I going to show up to my Instagram story? How can I give value in my coach groups? Like just because I've been, you know, doing this for so long and whatever, I'm not going to stop because then my coaches won't join me and my customers won't join me. And trust me, like there's so many things that are going to go on in your life that are a struggle, like having a baby. I had a double hernia surgery last year. And like, I actually found more people that would join me because I was going through the struggle of like, I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to do this, you know, and that's what people want. They want that real person that's going to show them if they're going to get through that, then you can. So model, motivate is the second thing. And then mentor, and then multiply. So I think, I forgot what this was, but this was Chelsea Pearson's. She was trying to go for like 15 star, and she was immediately just trying to multiply. Like, you get to diamond, you get to diamond, you get to diamond. And so she went about it the whole wrong way. And she realized that you have to go back to like being the model, being in the trenches. That's how you're going to motivate your team and be that mentor for them. And then that's how you're going to apply your team. Okay, I have dry mouth, so I'm done, Pat.
You're on a roll. I think you got to keep going. I don't want to stop you. This is like fire. I think is Kate on here? Kate Morgan?
Get some water. Be right back.
I know Kate was.
No, she was leading a mastermind tonight.
Okay. I think she's going to try to hop on at the end. So let me know if she hops on, but I mean, these guys covered everything. By far, my biggest takeaway was to simplify. I mean, I think that all these really successful coaches that I've watched over the last 5 years, what they did to get really successful, they're still doing it, but they added all these layers on top of it that kind of got them a little bit off track of what really worked. And so now it's really cool to see them starting to peel back these layers of all these additional things and get back to the duplicatable things, those simple things that got them to where they got initially, before everything got fancy and all that stuff. So another couple little notes I got here. This is from the, what's the Legally Blonde girl's name? Like I want to say Elle Deal, but I think it's like Elle Woods, right? Like the story lady was really good. So anytime I notice a post of mine that gets the most engagement, it's a story, a personal story of mine that I'm sharing. So, and here's a few things that she kind of used as suggestions of how to kind of think of stories that are going to get the best engagement on your social media. The first thing is to think about your firsts, a list of your firsts. The first time you did this, the first time you overcame that, whatever it is, your first job, your first time your boss yelled at you, the first time you got grounded, like all those firsts. So kind of constantly what I have is a sheet of paper that I put on my fridge that anytime I think of a little story from when I was a kid or in college or when I was working, whatever it is, or even just everyday things, I write down a list of little stories, and then I can go back and pull from that to kind of compose a little story that's going to then have a little message to go along with that. So a list of your firsts, make a list of your biggest challenges. So the biggest challenges you've ever faced. And they don't have to be huge, just some kind of challenge that you faced. When someone told you that you couldn't do something and you did it, those are the best. And then again, make note of your everyday moments. So those are, again, if you guys want to write them down, make a list of your firsts. You can make a list of your customers and your team members. Make a list of their biggest challenges that they've overcome, their stories. When someone said you couldn't do something, or someone, your friend, your challengers, your coaches, someone told them they couldn't do something and they did it. And then make a note of just those everyday little moments that you can craft a story out of and teach somebody something from. And then obviously, when someone's struggling with posting, I know if I'm struggling with posting, it's getting back into personal development. If I'm reading good books, if I'm listening to good podcasts, I'm always coming up with cool ideas for posting. All right. So then she kind of has like 3 parts to your story. Crafting the story, she calls it. So you got normal, the explosion, and then your new normal. So kind of what was going on, then something happened, and then now you kind of have this new normal. And then she said, get really specific on those things. So here's kind of like what I'm kind of looking at as far as like the dates. So I know that I'm doing this Transform 20 test group, but here's the dates that you guys should really kind of think about and write down and get really like excited about right now. So Shift Shop Proving Grounds, which is Chris Downing's new program, the prep week for that is literally less than 2 weeks. It's on Monday, October 22nd. So we have less than 2 weeks to get people excited about that and get them on board and get them into that exclusive test group. So the prep week starts on October 22nd. So I'm going to be getting as many people into that as I can. And then October 29th is when it kicks off. And it's only a 3-week program. These 3-week programs are a lot of times the best place for a lot of new people to start because it's like quick, it's easy. Anybody can commit to 3 weeks. So if you haven't done Shift Shop, like definitely hop in your Beachbody On Demand and start to do a few Shift Shop workouts, show it on your story so you can kind of get people excited about the proving grounds that are coming out. Prep week starts on the 22nd and then officially on the 29th, and it's only 3 weeks. Then we got Transform 20 coming out after that. So you can, for Transform 20, so this is Shaun T's new program, and everybody loves Shaun T. So this is every time he has a new program, it just explodes. So your customers can start getting access to that, not access to it, but they can start buying the challenge packs for Transform 20 on December 4th. And then it officially starts the VIP early access. You can start the workouts on January 14th, but they can start the purchasing on December 4th. So what I know I'm going to be doing and what I suggest you guys could do is after the Shift Shop workouts, after the Proving Ground workouts ends, that 3-week program, you can start to do some T25 or some kind of Shaun T workouts to get people excited about Shaun T and then get them on board for Shaun T's Transform 20. So like a lot of people are calling it T20. So if you're doing T25 and then people are really liking that, in December, they're going to hopefully want to get on board with T20 kind of going into 2019. Then this is something I'm really, really excited about because this is honestly one of the things that exploded my business a couple years back was when 21 Day Fix came out. And I know that's true for a lot of you older coaches. 21 Day Fix, and that came out because it was so short. It was only 3 weeks. Our businesses blew up. So this was really cool to hear that Autumn's going to come out with a 21-day fix, but they're going to be recorded live, just like she did 80-Day Obsession. So those 7 workouts from 21 Day Fix, recorded live, all 7 of them. And then that's going to be on March 4th. March 4th is the 21 Day Fix. And then after that, she's going to record 21 Day Fix Extreme live in, I believe, the beginning of April, that first kind of Monday of April, which is really cool. So a couple little things to have on the calendar are the Proving Grounds, the Transform 20, and then you got the live 21 Day Fix, and then the live 21 Day Fix Extreme, which I'm excited about because I always want to go back to those and run like those 21 day challenges at least like once a month. Another cool thing, December 2018, so this coming out at the end of this year, they got the individual packs of the Energize, which are really cool. They're like the little stick packs. And then in February, we got the Fruit Punch Energize. So how many of you guys are excited about the Fruit Punch Energize? We got to taste it. It was really good. So that's that. What else we got here? And you other leaders, if you guys want to hop in and share anything that came up. So Ashley kind of talked about Emily Faber. So I watched her little video. I think it was my Aunt Terry that was telling me about it, that Emily was killing it. And Emily's upline coach, I think it's Ashley Molstead. I think Ashley's like ranked number 1 in the company. I think Emily's like number 3. They were ranked, like Ashley Molstead was ranked really, really high last year too. I think she came in number 2 in the whole company. But what was crazy to me was that even though she was number 2 in the company, she didn't have any real business builders at the end of last year. So she had all these challenges coming in. She was signing all these coaches. She got ranked number 2 in the company, but she didn't have real business builders that came in that lasted and stuck with her and came into this year with her. So she had to revamp what she was doing. Her coach, Emily, had to figure out what she needed to do differently. And they came out with these little Emerald calls. Instead of doing 21-day Emerald trainings or 14-day Emerald trainings, like they did a bi-weekly little 30-minute Zoom call that was called like Emerald in 24 hours. And they said that as soon as they started making Emerald not seem like it was hard, because it's not, and they just made it seem like it was easy and you can do it in 24 hours, their coaches started hitting Emerald in 24 hours or 48 hours or a week. And now they have hashtag Emerald Factory. Their whole downline is an Emerald Factory now because they started doing something that was super simple and they made Emerald cool. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about that. But one thing I wrote down from Emily was, and I thought this was kind of funny, she said, "You're going to think I'm super boring because I keep things super simple." And her presentation was, I wouldn't say it was boring, but it was so simple. So here's kind of what they do on these little 30-minute Emerald calls. So they do them bi-weekly. It's a little Zoom call. One of the things she does is she will personally message brand new coaches in her downline to get on this Emerald Zoom call. So she doesn't just ask her new coaches to get on the Emerald Zoom call. If she sees new coaches signed up in her downline, doesn't matter how many levels down, she personally sends them a Facebook message and says, "Hey, I'd love to get you on this. Have you on the Emerald call. I'd love to see you on there." So she's getting way more people on these little bi-weekly 30-minute Emerald push calls. And her goal is to make it seem fun and cool and easy, because Emerald is cool and it is easy. So here's kind of how she does it. She talks a little bit about, right off the bat, she says, sign up your spouse. The first thing you want to do is sign up your spouse and another family member. So you have 2 controlled business centers. If you don't have a spouse, find somebody in your family. And she also tells them, like when she's inviting them to this bi-weekly Emerald call, she'll tell them that she's going to personally give them a shout out if they hit Emerald. As soon as they hit Emerald, she's going to give them a public shout out. So for your coaches and for your coaches in your downline that love recognition, that's one way to help them get more excited about Emerald. She talks on the Emerald call about the fact that as an Emerald, you're eligible for the team cycle bonus. So as a coach, you're eligible for retail commission from your customer orders, which is cool. But as an Emerald, it opens up this whole other side of the business, which allows you to be eligible for team bonuses, which is based on how successful your team is that week. And honestly, that's where 99% of the top coaches' incomes come from, is that team cycle bonus. So getting to Emerald and being eligible for that team bonus, so cool. Also, as an Emerald coach, she talks about the fact that you are eligible now for the leads, for the customer leads. So that's where Joe Policino came from. If I hadn't got to Emerald, I wouldn't have been assigned some of the coaches that I have now that were given to me as customers and then became coaches later on. So then here's the other thing she does. Once the coach gets off the call, she asks them, during the call, she says, hey guys, like, I'd really love it if you, now that you know what Emerald takes, it's the 2 people, message your coach and let them know who the 2 people are that that are gonna be your 2 first coaches. So now, like, that person that was on the call is messaging their coach, and now their coach knows who the 2 people are. They're gonna sign up and kind of hold them accountable and ask them how they're doing that, which is one of the things that my mom has been doing forever, and she's really great at, is she'll get on a Zoom call with someone. Instead of saying, like, get to Emerald, she'll say, like, who do you want to sign up to get to Emerald? Who are your 2 people? And then she'll talk through, like, what she can say to them, and the coach can say to those 2 people and get them to just get their people signed up. When I became a coach, my coach didn't give me any trainings. He was just like, just get to Emerald. That's all he said. He's like, just get 2 people and you get customer leads. That's all he told me. So I did that weekend because I didn't think there was any other way. If you're making these 21-day Emerald groups and you're telling people it's going to take them 30 days to get to Emerald, like, it will. But if you want to get to Emerald in a weekend, you can't. You just go to your mom and you say, hey mom, I love you, so I want you to live longer. I want you to do these workouts and get a discount on these shakes. And you love me, and this is going to help my business, so you're going to do it too. And you can do that with your friends and family, and it's a win-win. Just be upfront and honest with them. And they're going to get that discount, and that's going to help your business at the same time. So, all right. The other cool thing she does is creates little, like, 5 to 7 person, like, coach pods. So if you see people, or if you're a brand new coach and you see other coaches on this call that want to also get to Emerald, get yourself on a little 5-person or 7-person text pod or a Facebook message pod, and hold each other accountable to do that. Share with each other who your 2 people are going to be that are going to be your first few Emeralds. If you're a leader and you have a team, create those 5 to 7-person success pods yourself. Look in your downline, look to see who is pushing for Emerald, and get those 4 or 3 or 5 people on a little success pod and get them excited to get there together. If you have, 3 or 4 Emeralds, get them on a success pod and help them kind of push to the next level. One thing that I think is really cool is, instead of, like, really talking about diamond, which is what I think slows people down, is instead of telling your Emerald that, hey, if you're an Emerald, okay, great, now you got to get the diamond. Instead of saying that, tell your Emeralds, or if you're an Emerald yourself, tell yourself this. Instead of saying, I need to be a diamond, tell yourself, I just need to help 2 people get to Emerald. I just need to help 2 people find 2 people that they really care about that want a discount on this and maybe want to work the business. Instead of thinking of diamond as this crazy huge thing, think of it as, I just need to help 2 people get to Emerald. And then you can get there a lot easier. So those little pods are great. And then every Friday, let people know where they're at. Okay, so she also does a little thing on Friday to kind of let her team know kind of where they're at, like with whatever their pod at. If they're that 5 to 7 person success pod's pushing for Emerald, she'll do a little, like, text on Friday in that pod, kind of letting everybody know where they're at. If it's a 5 to 7 person text pod that's shooting for diamond, she'll kind of do an update for that. Or if it's a 5 to 7 person text pod for people that are just trying to qualify for the new leadership conference in February, she'll do that. Is Kate Morgan on here yet? If you guys can let me know, because I want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I'll let you share here.
Okay. Hi guys. I haven't been on a Team Boom call in, like, ages because I haven't existed. I feel like my brain is, like, gone. But so first of all, my number 1 takeaway from leadership is get your spouses to a live event. Like, don't only get yourself to a live event, but, like, get your spouses to a live event, because Curtis, my husband, he's only been my husband for, like, 2 weeks, so I don't even know if it's, like, okay to call him my husband yet, because it feels weird. But he has never been to a live event. He's never been to Super Saturday. He didn't come to Summit with me. Like, he's just never gone. And he's been supportive. He was skeptical in the beginning, but, like, he was supportive. He, like, knows how much this has changed our lives, obviously. But he didn't really, like,
get it until he went to leadership. And like, just watching him, he's such an introvert. Like, he is like the introverted introvert, but he like felt so in his element. And I thought it was so cool. Like, he was like, Pat is so cool. I was like, yeah, he is, Pat. And he was just like, it's so different when it's not you just talking about them. Like, they're actually real people. And it sounds so silly, but it's like, there's actually real people doing this. And it just makes it feel so much more real to them. Especially like if your spouse is like very like analytical, like facts and figures, like getting them to experience that with you is just huge. And he decided that we actually like nicely fired my assistant, like in a nice way, like laid her off like nicely. And he actually is taking over all of my assistant stuff to work the back end of the business, because he now like has so much belief in this and like the capability of it, because he went to the trainings. Like, he didn't just come to Vegas, like hang out in Vegas. Like, he came and sat with us during the seminars, and like he came and like after like speeches, like after Ashley Molstad, he looked over at me and was like, that was really good. Like, he was actually like processing the information, and now it actually makes sense to him when I talk to him about it. So like, if you can get and crush this in Topgolf, yeah, that was like probably his favorite part, let's be honest. But if you guys can get like your family member or your spouse or your friend, whoever is like skeptical or like just like your main support system to a live event with you, I think it will absolutely change their world. Like, it definitely has for us. But as far as like coaching, things that I took away, a couple people mentioned it. And for those of you that are on my team, you guys know that we're doing this. But one of the like main things that Ashley's always taught me is focus on yourself and everything else falls into place. Like, most of us have heard that before. And I feel like in like the missing parts of our business, when we feel like no one's signing up, when we feel like nothing's going our way, when we feel like, you know, our goals are coming further from us, we really have to reflect and like think about like, well, how have our workouts been? Like, how's our nutrition been? Have we been drinking our Shakeology every day? Are we actually committed to a program, not just like doing the workouts and like kind of doing the nutrition? Because a lot of times the answer is no. And that's why like our business suffers, because it's just not authentic. And it's like the weirdest thing. As soon as you stop focusing on like the numbers and like the goal, and you start to refocus on yourself, like all of a sudden everyone and their mom wants to sign up. And it's like a proven fact. This has happened to me like 4 times in my business. And so like lately my team has been like expressing that they've been struggling with like overwhelm, or like their goals just keep quitting left and right, and people keep going inactive and like all this stuff. And I was looking at it and I was like, let's get back to like when things were like simple, but like, how do we do that? And a couple people at leadership mentioned doing a coach test group. So I'm running an all coach challenge group starting on Monday until Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is the last week to qualify for like 1-star, 2-star, and all that stuff. And it is just a challenge group for coaches. And we are treating it just like a test group. They're going to turn in their before and after, or their before pictures. They're going to turn in their measurements, like just like we're doing for Transform 20. And then like they're going to pick a program. Day 1 starts on Monday, and they're going to like put 100% into it, because our businesses thrive when we're filling up our own cup first. Like, that's why most of us are coaches, like, because we fell in love with like pouring into ourselves. So that was one thing that I took away. And then I talked to like corporate again about it today, and like they brought it up again, and I was like, hey, this is like a sign that like I need to do this. So that was one thing that I thought was really awesome. And then I also really liked Danielle Natoni. She was talking about like developing leaders. Like, Danielle Natoni is Ashley Molstad's upline. So like Danielle has Ashley Molstad, Emily Favre, like a ton of other awesome leaders and boss babes. And she was talking about like, people always ask her like, how do you get these leaders? And she's like, I run and see if they can catch up. Like, I run and either they pass me or they catch up with me. And for me, that related like so much to me, because a lot of times people ask me like, how did you grow so fast? How did you develop like as many diamonds as you have? And for me, it's like, I just did it, and they either like came with me or not. Like, I just poured the belief into them that they could do it, and they just did it. And that's what Danielle was talking about, is be the pace car. And she had like this graphic of a pace car, like with NASCAR. So like pace cars in front, and then like all the other cars, and they take them around like to get them warmed up for the race, and then they let them go. And like she was talking about, like, be the pace car, be the person on your team that is setting the pace for everybody else that's moving. Like, if you're hitting Success Club 50, like, you're setting the tone for your team that they can either hit Success Club 50 with you, they can pass you, or they can stay like in this other realm. But it's very rare that you're hitting Success Club 50 and people like aren't even hitting Success Club. Like, people are going to keep up with the pace car. So it's just like, it's basically another way of saying lead from the front. But I just thought it was a really cool, like, visualization of like being the pace car and setting the tone for your team. And like, there's a lot of times like you don't have to, like, leaders are going to develop because you're leading from the front and you're doing all the things, and you're supporting them. It's not because you're doing anything special. Like, it's just being the pace car. And then Rob and Chelsea said a quote. I love Rob and Chelsea. They're like I told Curtis, we were talking to them like the other night, and Curtis and I are both like, we just basically have crushes on Rob and Chelsea Pearson. They're like amazing people, and the way they've built their business is phenomenal. But Chelsea said, give your coaches permission to set and accomplish short-term goals so that they can reach their long-term goals. Because so many times you have coaches that are like, I want to quit my job in a year. I want to like make 6 figures. I want to be a 5-star elite coach. Like, they're setting these huge goals, which is amazing. You have to set goals that stretch you, because if Brooke is on here, when I was like a baby coach, Brooke Reed said, goals are not meant to be obtained. Goals are meant to stretch you. And that's like what I live by now. But you have to set those short-term goals in order to have the stepping stones to get there. And so allow your coaches to set those short-term goals and celebrate them. Like, for me, I have a red personality, and I have a really hard time celebrating goals that I hit. I'm like, okay, elite, what's next? Okay, 5-star, what's next? And I don't celebrate the fact that our team hit elite, or our team hit 5-star, or your coach hit emerald. Like, sitting in that celebration mode and like feeling how exciting it is, because like those short-term goals are what is going to get you to the long-term vision. And it's just a good reminder to like celebrate the small things and set those short-term goals so that you can reach those goals that stretch you. And then she also talked about when your coaches are struggling, like if a coach comes to you and they say like they're struggling, saying like 2 questions. What are you going to do about it? Which I thought was like really good. And not even like well, what are you going to do about it? Like, not being in like a like sassy like mode. But if someone was like, okay, they gave the example, they had a diamond and they were like going for superstar, I think, and she had an emerald quit, and it was like Monday. And she was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, if my emerald quit, I don't know if I can get my diamond back by Thursday, and like all this stuff. And they asked her, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And it's Chelsea and Rob Pearson. Shred Nation is their team, and they have the best training videos on YouTube. Yes. So they ask them, what are you going to do about it? So like, okay, like, yes, this is happening. Yes, feel, felt, found, like empathize with them. But now what are you going to do about it? Like, what are the actions you're going to take to like just at least try? And then the second question is, how can you grow through this? So like, how is this going to help you grow and be a better coach, a better leader, more proactive, and just asking those simple questions, because asking questions instead of telling is the easiest way to lead and teach, because then people actually answer their own questions, which is awesome. So, okay, and then the last thing that like really stuck with me is, I mean, there were so many things, but the last thing that really stuck with me was being in a constant state of recruitment. So Ashley Laughlin talked about this, and like always being in a constant state of recruitment always like showing on your social media what you have to offer people. So like if they come to your page, they know they can sign up as a coach. They know they can sign up in a challenge group. Like they know what you have to offer, and you don't have to do it in a pushy way or a salesy way or like all that kind of stuff, but always be recruiting for something. So either you have enrollment for your boot camp open or your challenge group or whatever, or you're running a coach sneak peek, or you have a free group. Like you're in a constant state of talking to people and recruiting people, and it doesn't have to be stressful, but always recruiting. And also knowing that, especially in a season like this, where we're the last 80 days of the year, knowing that the momentum you create now is the momentum that you are going to bring into the next year. So like what you do now is what is going to help you be successful in January, February, and March. Right now, people are deciding on what their New Year's resolution is going to be. So if you decide that you're too stressed out or you're too overwhelmed over the holidays to post or work your business, then those people that are thinking like, oh, that one chick, like she was posting about that challenge group that one time, and like that'd be a cool like New Year's resolution. So maybe I'll go talk to her. They go to your page and they haven't seen anything from you in like 2 weeks. They're going to go find something else to do. So even if people aren't saying yes right now, this is the time that they're deciding whether they're going to sign up with you or not come January 1st. And I know that, like, I haven't even been a coach a year, but I signed up in December of last year, and I hit Success Club 40 in December when people were saving for the holidays, because I was showing up and I was showing people what was possible for their New Year's resolution, and then that momentum carried over into the beginning of the year. So I know what the holidays feel like, and I know that they're only hard if you say they're going to be hard. Like, when people are like, oh, the holidays are hard, or like December is a hard month. Like, no, that's BS. Like, it's only hard if you say it's hard. So right now is the time to build that momentum and to create action and be in that constant state of recruitment so that you can translate that into the new year. That's all I have.
Boom. All right. So last little thing. One of my favorite things at Summit and these big events where there's like so many people is I try to do these little breakout lunches of like 5 people. And they always are like my favorite part of the entire event, because it's like small, you get to chat. That's how this entire weekend was. There was like just 5 of us, and we all got to hang out the entire weekend, got to chat. I got to meet Curtis. We got to go play Top Golf and really get to know each other outside of Beachbody a little bit more. So if you guys want to come to this next year, it's in Scottsdale. It's next October. You have to be a 5-star to get there. But like we said, if you break that down into emeralds, what is that? That's 5 people that help 2 people get to emerald. That's 10 emeralds, right? Am I doing my math right? So that's kind of something to kind of look forward to down the line, is getting to this event, getting in a small little group, getting to all hang out like that, being around the top of the top people that you're all very humble people that are there to help you. We got a lot of cool, exciting things coming up, all the new products and workouts and fruit punch and all the cool things. But strip it down to the basics. Get rid of all that fluff. Get back to taking care of yourself. Number 1, priority is you. And then number 2, get back to helping people, giving people an amazing experience. And you're going to pop those emeralds, and you're going to be at this event next year with us. Love it. All right. We got some big stuff going into the rest of this month and into the end of the year. So let's get a big boom on 3. I can unmute everybody.
I do all this.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
This is frustrated with shit that you do. I don't do that fucking stuff.
Let's give the leaders a big
I'll tell you every fucking thing that I did.
2.
That's so fucking childish. That's not somebody who's an adult trying to